evening, we're going to have the pleasure of hearing from our Community Redevelopment Agency, our North Miami Police Department, Public Works, and Community Planning and Development. But before we hear about the projects in District 3, I hope you've seen I hope that you have seen virtually or participated in the Florida City Week. Florida City Government Week, like Eunice just mentioned, is a time for municipalities to provide and foster civic education, collaboration, volunteerism, and more. Cities can provide a higher level of service that most government and generally receive a higher approval rating other than the levels of government. Yet many residents are unaware of the city services that impact their lives. So through Florida City Government Week, we hope that we bring you more awareness of the roles that we're playing in the city of North Miami. So North Miami's Government Week started with a virtual tour of our police department, North Miami Library, and our MoCA Museum, which was followed by an active shooter workshop taught by Assistant Chief Angel Rivera, and we learned a lot. On day 2, we started a conversation from our newly elected Representative-elect Christopher Benjamin, while making soup joumou and discussing the issues that affect our residents in District 3. Even though the soup was delicious, my favorite part of Government Week was witnessing our very first North Miami Youth Council installed. Right after, I delivered the State of the District address with highlights on all of the efforts we've made to keep our residents and business owners afloat during this pandemic. Day 3, we started with Senator Jason Pizzo's favorite New Jersey-style egg sandwich while discussing legislation that he passed and the resources available to North Miami residents. In between, we had story time for the younger residents in our city. We also had a chance to be an artist for an evening with the collaboration of MoCA Museum. Today, our virtual business luncheon sponsored by Hawkoff was very informative. Rasha Karmo, our very own CRA Executive Director, was our keynote speaker who delivered a message encouraging business owners to be more innovative during this time of doing business in a pandemic. As she quoted, "Necessity is the mother of invention." Believe it or not, we still have more activities, and you can visit to find out more information on www.northmiamifl.gov/celebrate. And just in case you missed some of the events that I just mentioned, you will find most of them actually on our North Miami Facebook page or YouTube account. As we get ready to hear from our city administrators, I want to reassure you that I am working to improve the quality of life in our district. So tonight, let's share our ideas and concern and work together in building a district, making it a better place to live, work, and play.
Thank you, Councilwoman Estime Irvin. At this time, I would like to introduce Arthur H. Story III, our Deputy City Manager, with words of welcome.
Good evening, North Miami. I'm your Deputy City Manager, Arthur H. Story III. It's a pleasure to join you tonight. Councilwoman, I appreciate the invitation to be a part of your virtual town hall meeting. I truly believe that coming together like this in these settings makes it easier for us to foster growth and togetherness among members of our North Miami community. To our residents and business owners, I want you to know that, like the Councilwoman, I value the opportunities such as this one, not only to keep you informed about the city's latest updates, but also to hear directly from you. When we come together like this, whether virtually or in person, we learn from each other. The outcome is that you gain increased knowledge of the city of North Miami operations, resources, and programs. At the same time, for North Miami's dedicated public service, whether elected officials or city employees, hearing from you in this setting gives us crucial insight into how to better serve you and meet your needs. Our goal is to enhance your North Miami experience and keep the reasons why North Miami is an ideal place to live, work, and play at the forefront of your minds. It's an understatement to simply say that the year 2020 has been challenging. COVID-19 has played a large role in that. And not just for the people of North Miami, believe me, there is not one soul across the globe who hasn't been in some way touched by the impact of this devastating corona pandemic. So what has that meant for your local government? Well, it's created a response rooted in thoughtful innovation. Soon, you'll hear from our community planning development and our North Miami CRA about program in place to help sustain you, the residents, and our businesses at this difficult time. Our local police department is also on the call to provide important updates about crime and safety and the impact of COVID-19 on those elements. Representatives from our hardworking North Miami Public Works team are also logged in. They'll be updating us on capital improvement projects in the city and the impact on all of us, the North Miami residents. Even during these times when a pandemic is not a factor, quality of life matters, such as public safety and economic sustainability around our businesses are crucial. Our North Miami staff is here to share resources and important information to successfully navigate these unprecedented times. These are just a few of the key items slated for discussion this evening. The Councilwoman has laid the foundation for information sharing through activity and many of the activities planned throughout North Miami's 2020 Florida City Government Week celebration. I'll be here listening as well. District 3, thank you very much for calling in. I look forward to hearing from you. North Miami Department heads, I appreciate you guys being on tonight. Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you again to our Deputy City Manager, Arthur H. Story III, and thank you, Councilwoman Mary Estime Irvin. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and introduce our first City of North Miami department head, and that would be Rasha Kemo Sore, and she is the Rasha Kemo, and she is the Executive Director of the North Miami Community Redevelopment Agency. So let's welcome her as she joins us virtually to give some insight into the many projects being done by the North Miami CRA. Welcome, Rasha.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. Thank you again, Councilwoman Estime Irvin, for organizing this town hall meeting. I'd like to give a brief shout out to Councilman Alex Desulme. I see him on the list. Good afternoon. Again, my name is Rasha Kamo. I'm the Executive Director of the North Miami CRA. The North Miami CRA has been working diligently with other city departments to help the community and District 3 survive the pandemic. Through that, since March, we were providing business grants such as the Jumpstart Grant, the Essential Relief Program, and also we provided rental assistance for up to 2 months rent for about 935 households throughout the CRA area. The Councilwoman had asked me to emphasize on our new fiscal year, as this is October. Our new fiscal year has started, and this year we do have several projects that are going to jumpstart in the District 3 area. So I wanted to mention a few of them. The first one was the Northeast 11th Court Drainage Program, which is about $100,000 that'll be working with the Public Works Department to help with the drainage problems that they're having on Northeast 11th Court and 146th Street. The renovation of Pioneer Boulevard. As you may not know, actually, in 2012, the CRA had spent $250,000 to renovate the Pioneer Boulevard. Since then, it has gone into disrepair. And the Councilwoman had made this a priority for this fiscal year for us to tackle it again and get it back on track and make it a more proper public space for the community. So about $100,000 is dedicated to that for the renovation, new lights, new fountain, walkway, new walking path, trash, benches for people to use. We will continue the Griffin Center and Green Trail design for the community center. We started it, but unfortunately, because of COVID-19, we had to stop what we were doing and reprioritize our work. Now that things have settled a little bit, we're going to go back to doing some more virtual town halls to get the public's opinion on some of the design aspects that our architect has come up with, and then try to keep the project moving so we can have a consensus of what the community would like to see for that area. For this fiscal year, we're launching a utility box wrapping program. This one, Councilwoman Irvin loves tremendously. The minute the budget was approved, she asked, when can we start? This is a collaboration with the MoCA Museum, where we are going to put out to bid to recruit local and, I guess I should say, international artists as well, to provide some artwork used on the utility boxes along the major corridors and specifically in District 3 areas, to beautify and to bring some creativity and art and culture into the neighborhoods. We are going to continue with our business grants program. Actually, we've received several requests for new businesses looking to relocate into North Miami, especially on West Dixie in District 3. One of them is a coffee shop, and I'm very excited on the West Dixie. It'll be very nice for the community to have with the drive-through. And additionally, we do offer development grants. So last fiscal year, we were able to award a grant for the Golden Hill Apartments, which is on Northeast 6th Avenue and 123rd Street in District 3. We have a new request for another property, which is on 125th Street and Northeast 4th Avenue. And they're asking for some of our infrastructure grants, and they're looking to build a workforce housing and apartments in those areas. So we're very excited to see that activity is coming back into our community, and the CRA is here to work with all the departments as always. And unfortunately, and I had to explain to Councilman Estime, I'm double booked, so that's why she allowed me to speak first. So if there are any questions, I'm here to answer. If not, I will have to go to my next appointment. No questions?
Rasha, can you tell us how to get in touch with you in the event that listeners or residents who are viewing us on television would like to connect with you later? Maybe they'll listen to some of the projects you mentioned. You mentioned green trails, beautification projects, business grants, development opportunities. So as more people watch this later on NoMe TV as it streams there, they might have questions. So how can we get in touch with you later?
Sure, most definitely. I mean, you can call our offices. It's 305-895-9839. Our website is northmiamicra.org. And my email address is rcamo@northmiamifl.gov. I'd like to also mention that we just found out that we did receive an award from the Florida Redevelopment Association. We just found out yesterday for an out-of-the-box award for the Red Garden. So this is an award that the CRA and the city will be sharing jointly, and we're going to make sure that everybody knows. We are finalists for the South Florida Business Journal for an award for community impact for the Liberty Gardens renovations. So that's another plus that I think that the community should take pride in. As soon as we get more information on all these activities that we're launching, I will make sure that the community is aware of it, either through our e-blast. So that's another thing. If the community would like to know what we're doing, we are going to launch a monthly newsletter to inform everyone of what we're doing. If you want, as long as you sign up either on the city's website or on the CRA's website, you will get all the information that you need.
Well, thank you so much for all of that information, all that very useful information about the North Miami CRA. And Rasha, we're so happy that you joined us, and enjoy your next meeting.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good evening.
Okay. I did also want to take a moment to acknowledge our Vice Mayor, Alex Dezume, who joined us this evening. So thank you so much for logging on, Vice Mayor. And I do want to emphasize, we will have an opportunity for everyone to ask questions at the end. So if you are watching on NoMe TV, please note that you can access this event link for this specific web event by logging on to www.northmiamifl.gov/celebrate. www.northmiamifl.gov/celebrate, and you can log in and you can submit your questions, or you can join us virtually so that you can participate as well. Okay, so the floor is open, and that Q&A session will be at the end, and we don't want you to miss it. So our next speaker that we have slated for this evening is our North Miami Police Chief, Larry Jurica. And welcome, Chief Jurica.
Good evening, Unicia. Councilwoman, good evening. Thanks for putting that up, Ricardo. Well, good evening, everyone. Bonsoir and buenos tardes. As Unicia mentioned, my name's Larry Jurica, and I proudly serve as the police chief. And on behalf of everyone here at the North Miami Police Department, I want to thank Councilwoman Estime Irvin for inviting us to be a part of tonight's meeting. I know she's always interested and actively involved with safety in our community. She gives me calls routinely, making sure that the city and her area is safe. She talks about lights being out or car crashes or suspicious incidents. So I want everybody to know how actively involved she is. And my friends, the men and women of the North Miami Police Department, as you see by the photo and by our motto at the bottom, they're out in your community each and every day making a positive impact. We continue to support all efforts to increase transparency and build our community's trust, whether it's through engagement on the bike rides, our Cops and Kids Fishing Day, or the use of body-worn cameras. We want to earn your trust and your respect. I'm happy to report that through our ongoing partnerships within the community, in addition to some of our crime prevention initiatives, this year we've realized a 10% reduction in Part 1 crimes thus far in 2020. Again, that's a 10% drop in crimes. And the number of reported crimes, not only in North Miami, but in District 3, is at the lowest level since 1972. And so you can do the math. It's almost 50 years that we're experiencing the lowest level of crime. One of the major contributing factors in our crime reduction is our community's involvement. We're so thankful for all of you residents participating in reporting criminal and suspicious activity. Our North Miami residents and business owners, you guys are truly our eyes and ears. You know your neighborhoods. You know what's going on in District 3 better than anyone. So you've heard us say it many times before. If you see something, say something. We want you to call us immediately. Don't wait to see what's happening. Call directly 305-891-8111 and reach out to us again and let us know. Again, if you see something, say something. In addition to reporting incidents, there's a couple more ways for you to help us. Number one, during this pandemic, as you see, Officer Janine, wear your masks. We want to keep you all healthy and safe, so we need you to assist us. Removing valuables from inside. I know it sounds really simple. It sounds really basic, but so often we're busy doing different things, running in and out of our cars, that we forget. So please always lock your car doors. This year, we've done some research, and this year, basically half of all the cars that have been broken into were burglarized because they were left unlocked, where people walk up, they just check the door handle, open it up, and get right in. So please lock it or lose it. And finally, just a final note, Councilwoman, I know you're aware of this and you mentioned it previously. For Government Week tomorrow at 4 p.m., we're going to be having a community bike ride. We'll be starting from in front of the North Miami Police Department at 4 p.m. Again, tomorrow, 4 p.m. in front of the North Miami Police Department. We hope you can join us and join the Councilwoman. And thank you again, everyone. Please stay safe and healthy during.
Thank you again to our beloved police chief, Larry Jurica. And thank you for leading our hardworking North Miami officers, bringing our city into an all-time low in reported crime. So that's amazing. And remember, North Miami, you heard it from the chief, lock it or lose it when it comes to your car, because we want to make sure that those crime numbers continue to go downward in our city. So thank you again, Chief Jurica. Did you want to tell us how we can connect with the North Miami Police Department? If we have any questions, would like to report crime, or would just like to share something with you?
You can certainly look us up at northmiamipolice.com, or you can call us, as I mentioned before, 305-891-8111, 305-891-8111. And just for everybody's understanding, that goes directly to our dispatchers, who can directly contact our officers and tell them where they're needed. But certainly if you have a question, please don't hesitate to reach out to us as well.
Okay. Thank you, Chief Jurica.
Thank you, Nicia.
Up next, we're going to hear from our Public Works Director, Mr. Whistler Pierre-Louis.
Good evening, all. I hope that you are all safe and well. Special thanks to Councilwoman Mary Estime Irvin for this opportunity. And I'd like to also repeat what the chief said to all of the residents of District 3. You have a very involved councilwoman. She is always advocating on your behalf. I get requests on a regular basis when it comes to some of your main concerns, whether it's lighting requests, lighting outages, traffic calming, and flooding concerns. She's advocating for a lot of improvements in District 3. And as the Public Works Director and my staff, we're trying our best to bring her ideas to fruition. So today I have an opportunity to present a few capital projects that the Public Works Department is working on. Next slide, please. So the Public Works Department, we have several divisions. I'll just highlight a few of them that are very involved or very important for you to know. Not that any of them are less important, but we have a water and sanitary sewer division, which you can contact if you have any type of water issues or sewer backups. We have a stormwater division for any flood